I posted about a week ago, I guess, that I had bought a couple new mowers, and one of them's an LT 2000 Craftsman, and I'm not totally sure on this one. Didn't have a number on the fender of it, but it's another Craftsman, 6-speed. This got a Dana 4360 transaxle in it, and it's got a Briggs & Stratton 19.5 horsepower platinum turbo cool twin cylinder engine in it. So I've had them sitting here for about a week. I played with them a little bit the other day, just to or this one. I haven't done anything with that one over there. That one's got a 14 or 15.5 cylinder in it. I need to put my socket and ratchets away. Oops. Anyway, so cranked this one up, I believe it was yesterday evening, and got it running, but then went out to drive it and it died on me, and I couldn't hardly keep it running except for if I was spraying carb cleaner down the pipe, which of course isn't good. So I stopped, and I had purchased a fuel filter and a fuel cutoff for it, so I put those on and everything else. So today I pulled the carburetor off and thoroughly cleaned the carburetor, everything like that on it, and I've got it running now. I'll crank it up here in just a minute, but this is going to be the start of I guess it's nothing that hadn't been done already, but I'm going to do my version of it. It's going to be a rat rod mower. So I'm going to use the same tires that are on it, not changing any of that out. My whole idea behind it is I'm going to do the whole build for less than $400, and that includes the $100 I spent on the mower itself. So I'm gonna lower the whole thing, build new steering for it. I'm gonna change out the front, the whole front steering is gonna get tore off, thrown away, and then redone. I'm probably going to use the same rack and pinion for there, but I'm going to drop a universal joint in it so I can get the steering wheel at a more desirable angle and lower. I'm going to run pipes all the way back to the back end on it, or they may come out right in front of the rear tires to give it kind of that old Shelby Cobra or old Corvette type look on the sides with side pipes. I haven't decided if I'm going to build mufflers yet or not. Anyway, it's got a long ways to go. I'm not in a big hurry to get it done. I'm trying to think of how I'm going to do a lot of things on it. I am looking for right now, and I'm sure I'll find one here pretty quick, one of the small little kegs that you can get. I think Christopher over at Sprocket Garage used one on one of his builds, a little hanging keg on his, but I'm going to lay mine sideways and do a few other little things to it. But haven't decided where I'm going to mount that yet, but I'm definitely not using the under seat gas tank on this thing when it's done. We're here, I'm hopefully gonna, and it may involve, and that would be the only place where I may end up having to go over my $400 budget to get it, but I'm really pushing to do a locker on the rear end of it, and if I can't comfortably sit down in between the tires as they are now, I might be putting a wider axle underneath it, so that so I can get a little bit more space back there at the front end. I'm actually going to mount the new steering all the way up front here. So anyway, move it forward that little bit more and rebuild the steering differently. I'm not going to use that stuff on there. Really don't like, because I plan on doing a big time pulley splop on this thing. I don't particularly care for having my steering bouncing around that much, because I'm going to push for as much speed out of this engine without going crazy on the engine as I can. So anyway, so that's it. I figured I'd go ahead and crank it up for you and y'all could hear the little engine run and go from there. Anyway, no choke in it. Yeah, it has been run for this, so no choke, no gas. Anyway, for the $200 I spent on that one and this one together, and if I need any parts for this one over here, I got that one. So I figure I came out alright. So it'll be fun, and it's a cheap $200 worth of fun. So, but hopefully I'll have this thing going. I have driven it. Transaxle's quiet, works well, and I did notice with that 4360 I can shift it on the fly as long as I'm behaving myself, so that'll be a good thing too. Alright, anyway, there she is, and that's where I am on that project. Probably other than a little bit of designing in my head and maybe a little scratching out on paper, that's where it's going to be for a little bit now.